With that, the biggest story of the day was Prime Minister Modi's visit to Nagpur, in fact, specifically to the RSS headquarters, given that this was the first visit of a serving Prime Minister in our country visiting the RSS headquarters. Now, let's take you through all the details and some of the remarks that have been made while the Prime Minister addressed a public gathering in Nagpur earlier in the day. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Dr. Hedgewar's Smruti Mandir in Nagpur and paid tributes at the memorials dedicated to Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh founders. These are some of the visuals of those very activities that the Prime Minister in fact engaged in alongside RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat. In fact, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat, former Sangh General Secretary Suresh Bhaiyaji Joshi, Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Union Minister Nitin Gadkari were both all hailing from Nagpur were present during Prime Minister Modi's visit. Now, Prime Minister Modi also met with RSS officer bearers in the Smruti Bhavan located at the memorial and took group pictures with them, which we are bringing to you on your screens. Now, the memorials are all dedicated to the values of Indian culture, nationalism and the organization in itself. Prime Minister Modi has written in Hindi in a message book at the venue. Prime Minister Modi's visit coincides with the Sangh's Pratipada program, marking the Guri Padv, that is the beginning of the Hindu New Year. He also visited the memorial for the first time after becoming the Prime Minister. Now, Prime Minister Modi visited Diksha Bhumi in Nagpur as well, where Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar embraced Buddhism along with his followers back in the year 1956 during the foundation stone laying ceremony of Madhav Nethralaya Premium Center in Nagpur. Prime Minister also lauded the RSS, calling it the modern Akshayavata Vriksh, which is a 5,100-year-old banyan tree, a symbol of India's immortal culture. He praised the selfless service of RSS volunteers across various spheres and regions of the country, highlighting their roles in nation building, social service and cultural preservation. Now, let's take a look at what Prime Minister had to say during his address.
राष्ट्रीय चेतना के संरक्षण और संवर्धन के लिए जो विचार बीज 100 साल पहले बोला गया, वो महान वटवृक्ष के रूप में आज दुनिया के सामने है। सिद्धांत और आदर्श इस वटवृक्ष को ऊंचाई देते हैं। लाखों करोड़ों स्वयंसेवक इसकी टहनी, ये कोई साधारण वटवृक्ष नहीं, राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ भारत की अमर संस्कृति का आधुनिक अक्षय वट है। ये अक्षय वट आज भारतीय संस्कृति को, हमारे राष्ट्र की चेतना को निरंतर ऊर्जावान बना रहा है। दुनिया में कहीं भी प्राकृतिक आपदा हो, भारत पूरे मनोयोग से सेवा के लिए खड़ा होता है। अभी आपने कल ही देखा है, म्यांमार में इतना बड़ा भूकंप आया है। भारत ऑपरेशन ब्रह्मा के तहत वहां के लोगों की मदद के लिए सबसे पहले पहुंच गया है। जब तुर्की में भूकंप आया, जब नेपाल में भूकंप आया, जब मालदीव्स में पानी का संकट आया, भारत ने मदद करने में घड़ी भर की भी देर नहीं की। युद्ध जैसे हालातों में हम दूसरे देशों से नागरिकों को भी सुरक्षित निकाल करके लाते हैं। दुनिया देख रही है, भारत आज जब प्रगति कर रहा है तो पूरे ग्लोब साउथ की आवाज भी बन रहा है। विश्व बंधु की ये भावना हमारे ही संस्कारों का विस्तार है।
Now, amid massive backlash over his latest movie, L2 Empuraan, superstar Mohanlal has issued a public apology expressing regret for the pain caused to his fans. Now, the film, the second installment in the Lucifer franchise, has sparked outrage over its alleged references to the Gujarat riots. The actor-filmmaker duo has now decided to remove certain contentious scenes to address the very concerns. Now, firstly, let's take a look at what has been said by Mohanlal himself. In a heartfelt Facebook post shared by director Prithviraj Sukumaran, the actor has stated that he was deeply saddened by the disappointment caused to his fans. I have learned that some political social themes in Empuraan have hurt many of my well-wishers. It is my duty to ensure my films do not harbor hatred. We sincerely regret the pain caused and have decided to remove such portions from the movie. However, the film's producer, Gokulam Gopalan, confirmed that 17 cuts so far have been decided upon and a revised version will hit the theatres next week. Scenes depicting violence against women, riots and the antagonist's name, Baba Bajrangi, will be altered, while certain dialogues shall be muted. Despite clearing the censor board earlier, the makers opted for voluntary edits to avoid hurting sentiments. However, at the very same time, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has hailed the film after watching it. We see politics snowballing over it as he has extended support to the Mohanlal starrer movie, which also he has accused the Sangh Parivar for creating an atmosphere of fear regarding the stand adopted by its makers against communalism. Now, in a hard-hitting post on Facebook, he has said, and I quote, "Violent calls to destroy and ban artworks and artists are now manifestations of fascist mindsets. It is a violation of democratic rights." Moving on to a political development now, or rather a political story that is developing down south within the state of Tamil Nadu, specifically right ahead of elections that is to take place in the state in the year 2026. We are now focusing on the developments while closely tracking it within the AIA-DMK. Now, the AIA-DMK rank and file is perplexed as a senior leader and former minister K.A. Sengotian has made a secret visit to Delhi and met Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Now, Sengotian, who was the Transport, Agriculture and School Education Minister in the cabinets of Jayalalitha and Edapadi K.S. Palaniswamy, also met Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Interestingly, BJP chief K. Annamalai is also camping in Delhi currently. Now, let us understand who is K. Sengotian. What has come as a surprise for the AIA-DMK leaders in Tamil Nadu is that the party General Secretary, that is Edapadi K.S. Palaniswamy, has said that he is not aware of Sengotian's Delhi visit. It may be recalled that in February this year, Sengotian had stayed away from a felicitation function that was organized by farmers to thank Palaniswamy for the Athikadavu Avinashi project, because the pictures of AIA-DMK's founders M.G. Ramachandran and former CM Jayalalitha were missing in the invitation cards and banners. Moving on, at least 11 coaches of the Kamakhya Superfast Express derailed near Nirgundi station in Cuttack's Chaudwar on Sunday. As per the latest news, 7 people are reportedly injured in the incident. Now, emergency response teams, including an accident relief train and medical equipment, were all dispatched immediately to the spot. No casualties have been reported so far. The incident occurred at around, from what we understand, early in the morning, while the train number 12551 was en route from Bangalore to Guwahati. As per initial reports, passengers were seen deboarding with their luggage soon after one of the coaches went off the tracks. Now, the course of this very derailment, as we understand, is this very location in Cuttack, Odisha. However, from the initial reports as to the suggestions in terms of what may have caused the derailment, it is yet to be determined. However, an inquiry has been launched. The immediate priority is to divert the affected trains and begin the restoration, as per senior railway officials. Statements have come in. Let's take a look at what has been said so far in the story.
ये जो एक्सीडेंट हुआ था उसका रेस्क्यू कंप्लीट हो गया है फॉर्मली। अब सारे लोग यहाँ पे हैं हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे। यहाँ पे 10 मिनट में ट्रेन आएगा जो जिसको जहाँ पे जाना है वहाँ पे छोड़ेगा। हमने जितने भी पैसेंजर्स थे उनके लिए ORS, पानी, बिस्किट्स और जो चूड़ा होता है उसका ड्राई फूड जो होता है उसका अरेंजमेंट किया है। सब वो खा के अभी ठीक है। 3 मेडिकल टीम्स यहाँ स्टेशन किए गए हैं, जो कि अभी जो लोगों को थोड़ा सा बिकॉज ऑफ द हीट कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है तो उनको इमीडिएटली ट्रीट कर रहे हैं। 8 लोग एम्बुलेंस SCB में रेफर किए गए हैं जो ठीक है, बट एक आदमी की डेथ हुई है जो हमारे पास इंफॉर्मेशन है। हमारी 6 बसेस लगी हुई थी पैसेंजर्स को छोड़ने के लिए टू देयर नेक्स्ट स्टेशन, जिनको इमरजेंसी थी या अर्जेंसी था। 17 एम्बुलेंसेस यूज की गई लोगों को जिनको थोड़ा सा भी इंजरी था उनको ये करने के लिए।
ना हमको कुछ नहीं हुआ, हमारा बॉगी पीछे था AC2 में, कुछ नहीं हुआ।
आपका सेफ है?
हाँ, AC2 ऑलरेडी पूरा सेफ है। तो एक आदमी हल्ला किया एक्सीडेंट तो उतर के देखने आए तो देखे जी यही सब देखे।
कितना टाइम हो गया?
शायद 11, हमारा अंदाज है 11:30 और 35 ऐसी कुछ। हम घड़ी नहीं देखे थे।
तो और क्या कहेंगे, यहाँ क्या व्यवस्था है?
न व्यवस्था बहुत अच्छा। हमारा मिसेस ऑलरेडी टेकिंग ट्रीटमेंट ले रहा है सीधे।
क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
वो बोलता ही हो गया, वो स्ट्रेचर में है।
हाँ।
बोलता आपको छोड़ देंगे, ये दिया है।
तो वाइफ का ट्रीटमेंट चल रहा है?
हाँ,
हम B1 में थे और कुछ परेशानी नहीं हुई अभी तक थी। बहुत तो लोग मदद किए, गवर्नमेंट के तरफ से भी लोग आके मदद किए, सहारा किए, सामान उतार के लाए। हम लोगों को यहाँ सुकून से बिठाए, बच्चे भी सुकून से हैं।
कितना हो गया? 2 घंटा 3 घंटा?
हाँ, लगभग 2.5 घंटा तो हो गया। लगभग 2.5।
क्या कहाँ से आते हैं?
हम तो बेंगलोर से आए हैं, जाएंगे मालदा।
Meanwhile, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma tweeted that he is aware of the incident and that Chief Minister's office in Assam is in touch with the Odisha government and railways. In fact, helpline numbers have also been issued that we are also playing out for you, for those in fact who have been affected, and if any kind of assistance is required, these numbers may be contacted. So far, the restoration work is currently on high priority and people who have been injured are being taken to hospitals for treatment. Moving on, stand-up comedian Swati Sachdeva has found herself in a hot water after a clip from her recent YouTube episode where she jokes about her mother finding her vibrator went viral. Now, social media users are debating whether humor should have limits, especially when it involves parents. The clip shows her recounting how her mother, trying to be the cool mother, discovered the device and awkwardly initiated a conversation. She joked, and I quote, "I was sure she, that is her mother, was going to ask me to lend the vibrator." She started calling it a gadget, a toy. I was like, "I swear, Mom," pardon my language again, that is what she said, "it belongs to Papa." She said, "Don't speak nonsense. I know his choice." This is the exact excerpt of her act that we are bringing to you that has been performed by her. The episode, titled Family First, features Swati making jokes on various subjects. Section of the internet has raised concerns about involving parents in stand-up routines, with one user asking, "This is what comedy has become? Just vulgarity and cheap jokes?" The debate comes amid backlash against YouTubers Ranveer Alabadia and Samay Raina over the entire controversy that had erupted on the show India's Got Latent. Moving on, Salman Khan is back on the big screen with his action thriller Sikandar. However, the much anticipated release is facing a major crisis as we speak, as reports of a portion of the movie being leaked online has surfaced only hours after its theatrical release. Now, film trade analyst Komal Nata had posted about the very crisis on platform X, saying that, I quote, "It's the worst nightmare for any producer. A film being leaked before its theatrical release. Unfortunately, that's what happened last evening to Sajid Nadiawala's Sikandar. The producer had the authorities pull the film down from 600 sites last night, but the harm has been done." Directed by A.R. Murugadoss and produced by Sajid Nadiadwala, the film boasts an ensemble cast including Rashmika Mandana, Sharman Joshi, Kajal Agarwal and Satyaraj in key roles. Film has generated significant buzz since advance bookings began on the March 25th itself. Now, in just 3 days' time, over 98,296 tickets have already been sold, contributing rupees 2.83 crores already to the total box office collection. The film hits the theatres today. In fact, it has hit the theatres today, coinciding with Ugadi, Gudi Parva and the beginning of Chaitra Navaratri. This is the particular effect that we are bringing to you on piracy, because remember, when we speak of piracy, it is not just the film producers who are on the receiving end, who in fact bear the brunt of it, but all those who are involved in making the movie, in distributing the movie, to the very trickling down to the very grassroots levels. They're all affected in terms of their livelihood. Moving on to Myanmar now, the death toll from the powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake that struck Myanmar on Friday is currently over 1,600, and officials fear that numbers will keep climbing as rescue teams scramble through the wreckage. Now, Myanmar's military-led government says at least 1,600 people are dead, 3,400 injured and 139 still missing. To make matters worse, the country is already in the grips of a brutal civil war, making relief efforts even more dangerous and challenging. The quake's epicenter, let us remind you, was near Mandalay, which is the second largest city of Myanmar, and the destruction already was massive, with buildings having crumbled, bridges collapsed, a dam even burst, cutting off access to entire regions. Now, the shockwaves weren't just limited to Myanmar. Over in Thailand as well, which is a neighbouring nation, the quake shook the entire country, hitting Bangkok the hardest, which is a city of 17 million people. So far, reports have declared that at least 17 people are dead and 78 still missing in Thailand itself. As rescue operations continue and teams continue to dig through the rubble, heart-wrenching visuals have surfaced of a 30-year-old woman, Phu Lei Kaing, who was rescued alive after lying under the rubble for 30 hours. She was lying underneath the rubble from the Sky Villa condominium in Mandalay, Myanmar. These visuals capture the extent of the catastrophe that's hit the region and the pain and anxiousness that the people are struggling with in this very region. In northern Thailand, including Chiang Mai, homes, hospitals and temples suffered significant damage. With more than 3 million people already displaced by war and 20 million in desperate need, this earthquake has created a full-blown humanitarian disaster. Meanwhile, the world is coming together to help the crisis-ridden nation. Apart from India, China sent a 37-member team equipped with drones and medical kits and earthquake detectors. Russia deployed 2 planes carrying 120 rescuers. Malaysia sent in 58 workers. South Korea donated $2 million in aid. United Nations has released $5 million to jumpstart the relief efforts. United States President Donald Trump has pledged support, though concerns remain about budget cuts to foreign aid. Myanmar's military, however, isn't stopping attacks even in the quake-ravaged areas, with reports of 3 airstrikes in affected zones itself. Blocked roads, crumbling infrastructure and a lack of access are making it incredibly hard to get aid where it's needed most. Blood donations are urgently needed as hospitals struggle to cope with the injured. Situation is dire and relief workers are in a race against time to pull survivors out of the rubble. Without immediate and sustained global support, the crisis could spiral even further out of control.
The number killed in Myanmar's catastrophic earthquake has passed 1,000, its military government said on Saturday. That's a sharp increase from initial reports of 144 dead, and experts are warning Myanmar's final death toll could be much, much higher. The US Geological Survey's predictive modelling has estimated it could be over 10,000. It also warned that losses could exceed the impoverished Southeast Asian country's annual economic output. Friday's quake collapsed buildings and crippled critical infrastructure in a country already torn apart by a grinding civil war. Plan International's Sumonte said the situation in the central city of Mandalay, near the epicenter, was desperate.
The building damage was so severe, and people are just, they so shocked. People are just, desperate, devastated. And when I see the damage at the bridges and the roads, it was so huge. I have never seen anything like that in my life before.
The quake also killed several people in neighbouring Thailand and brought down an under-construction skyscraper in Bangkok. Foreign rescue workers began flying into Myanmar on Saturday to assist in the search for survivors. That was after a rare call for help on Friday from junta leader General Min Aung Hlaing, who seized power in a 2021 military coup that ousted a civilian government. A Chinese rescue team has arrived in Myanmar's commercial capital Yangon, south of the hardest-hit cities, Mandalay, and the country's purpose-built capital, Naypyidaw. Russia, India, Malaysia and Singapore were sending relief supplies and personnel, and South Korea said it would provide an initial $2 million in humanitarian aid. The United States, which has a testy relationship with Myanmar and has sanctioned its officials, has said it would provide some assistance.
Now, as Myanmar reels from death and destruction caused by a massive earthquake, India on Saturday delivered 15 tons of relief material and dispatched more supplies by air and sea along with rescue teams under the emergency mission Operation Brahma. In a reflection of New Delhi's strong resolve to help the neighbouring country, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke with Myanmar's Senior General Minister Aung Hlaing and said India stands in solidarity with the people of the country. India has also dispatched search and rescue teams to the hardest hit areas in the crisis-ridden nation. Let's listen in to the representative from the Ministry of External Affairs with regards to what all has been done so far within the Operation Brahma.
Early hours of today, that is, we launched Operation Brahma, the first aircraft carrying 15 tons of relief material took off at around 3 a.m. this morning from Hindon Air Force Base. It reached Yangon at around 8 a.m. India time. Our ambassador was there to receive the relief material, and thereafter he handed it over to the Chief Minister of Yangon, and from there these 15 tons of relief material have been sent out to those parts of country which need help. Thereafter, 2 aircraft with search and rescue personnel and equipment along with canines have left. One of them have left, I understand, and the other one is in the process of leaving for Naypyidaw.